We're several years on and still only have 3 game modes. Domination and standard battles have been here from the start, while epicenter is the most recent addition. And by recent, I mean it's not recent at all. The game mode is pretty old at this point. I think it's safe to say domination is probably the preferred game mode. There are usually groans when standard battle pops up. In fact, most of the time players are wondering what's the point of standard battle at all. You either charge in and sink, or sit in the back and snipe. Granted, that's an oversimplification. Standard battle isn't conducive of very fun gameplay. Epicenter is probably the most polarizing game mode. You either love it or you hate it. And if you played any amount of high-tier Epicenter on the old Tears of the Desert version of that map, you probably hate Epicenter with unbridled passion. So 3 game modes, with one that everybody enjoys, one that everyone tolerates, and one that players pretty much hate universally. Not much in the variety department here, a few years on, is it? It's a good thing we get operations, right? I have a solution though. I can fix standard battles, and I have an idea to introduce a completely new game mode that borrows elements from Epicenter. When thinking of game modes, the first question I ask is, how do you create something that encourages players to get in the mix and eliminates the chance of players running and hiding or sitting in the back, which is the biggest problem with any game mode. I think I may have solved that problem. The first idea I have is a tweak to standard battle. The largest problem with this game mode is it can be highly static. So let's force players to engage and eliminate the caps completely. Turn it into search and destroy. Borrowing, or stealing, if you want to call it that, an element from PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, I believe we can fix the static issue in standard altogether. Make the border shrink. For example, after the first 7 minutes, the border shrinks by 1 grid square perimeter. After another 7, it shrinks again. This might not affect things in the beginning of the round, but after 14 minutes, real estate is very sparse and ships have little places they can hide. The penalty for not pushing? Just like in PUBG, you take damage if you're outside the border. Players will get a warning the map is about to shrink and given about 30 seconds to move. After that, it's on then. I think this will help standard battles greatly. Now, for the game mode I propose, I call it Hot Zone, or we can call it King of the Hill. Doesn't really matter. It's what I feel Epicenter should more be like. The concept is simple. The entire length of the middle of the map is a capture zone. However, unlike in Epicenter, you don't need to knock all ships out of a given ring to accrue points. The way Hot Zone works is whoever has the most ships in the zone is awarded the points. If your team has 3 ships in the zone and the enemy has 4, red gets the points. If you have 10 ships in the zone and they only have 9, you get the points. It forces all players to get into the zone. However, by making the neutral zone the entire length of the map, it still gives players a little bit of cat and mouse and the ability to hide. I think round time in this game mode might be a little quicker than both domination and the old standard battles. The bottom line is that both these game modes invite players to engage, rather than encouraging them to stick in the back. I'm sure players will find a way not to engage, but at least now there are detrimental effects if they do not. So what do you think about the first game mode and the second game mode? Do you like these ideas? Do you think they're a step in the right direction? Do you have a better idea? Post it here. I want to see it. I am interested. Anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. I am out.